with one accord. Every praise is to our God. Hallelujah to our God. Glory, hallelujah is to our God. Every praise is to our God. Every praise to our God. Every word of worship with one accord. Every praise is to our God. Hallelujah to our God. Glory, hallelujah is to our God. Every praise to our God. Every praise to our God. Every word of worship is one accord. Every praise is to our God. Hallelujah to our God. Glory, hallelujah is to our God. Every praise is to our God. Every praise is to our God. Every word of worship with one accord. Every praise is to our God. Sing hallelujah to our God. Glory, hallelujah to our God. Every praise to our God. God, my Savior, God, my healer, God, my deliverer. Yes, He is. Yes, He is. God, my Savior, God, my healer, God, my deliverer. Yes, He is. Yes, He is. God, my Savior, God, my healer, God, my deliverer. Yes, He is. Yes, He is. Yes, He is. Yes, He is. Every praise is to our God. Every word of worship is one accord. Every praise, 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 every praise to our God. Yeah, put our hands together. Hallelujah. Every praise to our God.
Be good. Hallelujah. Praise you for that. Praise you, Savior.
Now get your minds ready for worship. Get your hearts and minds ready for worship this morning.
Yeah.
Lord, let your power fall when your name is called. Prove the doubters wrong. You are mighty and strong. Lord, fight this battle for me and help my unbelief so I can tell my friends that you have won again. Lord, let your power fall when your name is called. Prove the doubters wrong. You are mighty and strong. Lord, fight this battle for me and help my unbelief so I can tell my friends that you have won again. 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 I just need y'all to open up y'all mouths this morning. Y'all need to find yourself in a place of worship right now. You know that this battle is not over. If you understand that this battle doesn't even belong to you, if you understand that God made you victorious, I need y'all to open up y'all mouths this morning. Let's give God some worship this morning.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Say that with a face.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Y'all make it personal. Say, I have won. 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 The battle is not over. The battle is not over. The battle is not over. You have won. You have won again. Praise the name. Praise the name. You have won again. You have won. You have won. Yeah. You have won.
Hallelujah. God's awesome. You have won. Hallelujah. Have the way you way you go. Hallelujah. My God, my God. God, my God. Hallelujah.
Y'all say that with us. Just say, I want to hear. Tell them this morning. Just say, I have one. I have
God, my God.
That's what y'all just did. Say, I have one. I have one.
My God, my God, my God.
I am one. I am I gave my life, I had one and I had one.
Hallelujah, God.
Hallelujah. You truly believe that you want Hallelujah. You truly believe that the devil is going to restore you. You truly believe that God is making way for you right now. If you truly believe that God promised you right now in your life, if you truly believe that you are something like this, you are not just still our voice this morning. You got a right praise.
Hallelujah.
Father God, we thank you so much, Father God, for the opportunity to come in this place, Lord God, and worship you once more, Father God. The opportunity to stand before your presence, Father God, and throw up a sound to the gates of heaven, Father God, that you can receive, Father God. So, Father God, before we move forward in you, Lord God, we ask that you forgive us, Father God, for anything that we've done, known or unknown, Father God. Anything that we may have said, Father God, that was displeasing to you, God. We ask for your forgiveness this morning, God. We ask, God, that you would come in this place like never before, Father God. Heal and restore our hearts, Lord God. Heal and restore our minds, Father God. Replenish us, Father God, with your word, Father God. Father, we came in here, Father God, with an expectancy, God. An expectancy to feel you, an expectancy to hear you, an expectancy to hear your voice, Lord God. So, God, we ask that you would come in this place like never before. Do what you want to do in and through us, Lord God. Have your way through your manservants, Father God. Father God, some of us in here are going through some things, Father God, and we need a word from you, Lord God. We need a life-changing word, Father God. A word that penetrates the deepest place of our heart, Lord God, and heal us, Father God. Deliver us, Father God, and free us from the fear and the grasp of the enemy, Lord God. So, Father God, we ask that you would speak like never before. We ask that you would have your way like never before. Say something to the Lord right now. He wants to hear something from you before he speaks, Lord God. We thank you. We honor you. We aren't even worthy, Lord God. But you allowed us the opportunity. You gave us the opportunity to be before you, God, with our unclean selves, Lord God. We know that we are not whole. We know that we are not pleasing to you, Lord God. And you always, Father God, provide anyway. You always restore anyway. You always come to our rescue anyway. You always hear us anyway. And Father God, we thank you because we know that we're not worthy. We're not worthy of your love, God. We're not worthy of your grace, Lord God. We're not worthy of your deliverance, Lord God. We're not worthy of your anointing, Lord God. We're not worthy of your power, Lord God. But God, you grant it for us anyway. So God, we thank you. We honor you. We adore you, Lord God. Have your way in this place. Let the church say amen. If you have your Bibles, y'all turn to James 1. It's James 1, verses 2 through 4. James 1, verses 2 through 4. When you have it, just say amen. It's in the back. Amen. Hallelujah. The word of God says this: count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. For you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect.
Yes.
That you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing.
Yes, God. Yes,
Amen. Y'all continue to stand on your feet. Let's receive the man of God in this house, you guys. Put your hands together for Pastor Chris Coleman.
Let me say something. I don't know whether or not Jeff gets that one. It's like the songwriter made a statement and he made a declaration at the same time. He said, God has won again. I don't know about you. Christian Chatty, can y'all say it from me? At the end of the day, Coach, the more I begin to think about how awesome God is, it's bad as a place I've been in this week. Do you not know that's the thing that keeps coming back to mind? The God that I serve has never lost a battle. I don't care what it is I'm going through. He has never lost the battle. And the more I think about this word this morning, that's what this is. This is a word this morning. God has won again. Miss Jones, when he came against you this week, and he thought he had to, all it took was one word. And God won the battle again. Anytime God takes something that's negative, or takes something that looks bad, and turn it so that we can look at him for who he really is. And he is our God. And he won again. He won again. He won again. God has never lost a battle, son. That is so important to us as believers, that when we go through issues, if we just think about where God brought us from, God hadn't lost the battle. He won again, son. Isn't it funny? Yes. But we can be in such a bad place and win at the same time. Sometimes, Johnny, where I am, it don't look that bad. As long as God is present, he won again. Tomorrow he won again. I love it. God is good. God is good. I love it. God is awesome. Sometimes we got to look past. I'm sitting and I'm standing here and I'm looking around at the empty seats. It's amazing how quickly we can throw God aside. See the crazy part about church is this. Sometimes when people think that they have the answer to their issue, can I be honest with you? Circumstances ain't going nowhere. Right. The Bible says that trial and tribulation shall be amongst us always. We're always going to be faced with something. Whether you have money, whether you drive a Bentley, or whether you buy a Ford, it doesn't matter. We're always going to be faced with some type of issue. It could be relationship, it could be your marriage, it could be your kids, but I promise you, with money, you're going to be faced with some type of obstacle that your money can't find.
Right now.
So be careful. When you think you need it, you might not. Especially if your heart is not in place. But I'm so excited this morning because, again, I'm on another assignment. And I can't wait to expose the devil. I received a phone call this week. Somebody saw the message, praise and worship, on Facebook. And they were so moved by what they saw. He said, I just had to call to let you know that it was awesome. And Pastor, it messed me up. The things that you've done. And those people came and put their requests on the altar. The praise and worship was just awesome. And then the message just topped it off. He said, y'all keep doing what you're doing. Let me tell you what I do know, truth. Truth is not popular at this time. The Bible said that in the last days that they would rather believe a lie than the truth. And so at this time, truth is not popular. The tickling of the ear is. But that's not my cup of tea. I'm not called to tickle your ear. I'm called to help you live. And so, if that's the case, then I guess I will continue being outcast. Because I'm not going to compromise God. I'm not going to do it. Because at the end of the day, you need this just as much as I do. Yeah. Because when we leave this place, you still going to have to defend yourself. And you need the seed. You need the word. You need the power of the Holy Ghost to be a part of your life for you to survive in an evil world that is really designed for you to fail and to die. And as long as you have an ear to hear, you're going to be fine. Even in the worst of times, you're going to be fine. See, something will come up. I promise you, you can be sitting in a bed and all of a sudden something just come up and come over you. And God will say, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know you're better than that. You're stronger than that. God is an awesome God, y'all. Do me a favor. I want to go ahead and start. Turn with me to Daniel. Daniel chapter 3. Y'all know this story. But I got to show you what God showed me. I'm going to need me a volunteer in this week. I need a young man. Come here, son. He's my volunteer. Now, come here. Daddy, come here. Come here. Come on this side. Come on this side. Now, I want you to sit right here. Now, you can be sitting there for a minute. Amen. Cross your legs. Whatever you need to do to be calm. With my other junior deacon, come here. I need y'all to come here. I need y'all to get all those letters right here. Now, make sure you, some of y'all don't need to mess up. Okay? So pick them up and I need y'all to put them over here. Come on. Y'all get moving. That's what I'm talking about. See how these young men work in the world? If you don't train them, they won't get done. Come on, y'all. And I want to put it all around him right quick. Come on now. Yeah, just pick them up. Y'all trying to be neat. Y'all do that in school? Okay, come on. Come on, Caleb. Put it all around it. Put it around this side, put it in front of it. Put it right here. Put it all the way around. Scatter them out. Scatter them out. Scatter them out. Okay, all in the front of it. Come on, son. Okay, good. That's good. Okay, now put some right here. Put some right here. Yeah, put them there. That's good. That's good. Go way down there. Okay, y'all move it. Thank you. Y'all did good. Good job. Okay. Here's my prompt for today. Now let me set this up. See, for most of us, this is where we are. We're sitting and we're surrounded around issues. Bills and sickness and disease. Well, I'm starting to get that. Yeah. Come on. And coach, we try to figure out a lot of times, man, how do I get out of that? Because see, some of this is severe. This is our image. This is what the world has handed us. See, you don't think you're strong. At the end of the day, you're still sitting. At the end of the day, you're still trusting God. At the end of the day, you're still praying. At the end of the day, you still find you some joy. At the end of the day, you still find your kids on your faith, but you still smile. With these issues, and you try to figure out, God, do I really have what it takes? Because some of this is hard. And God, I know that you have made a way of escape. But God, right now, this is so vague that I'm at a point now where I don't believe that I can even, or I have the strength enough to get to the exit. This is every day. Here's the crazy part. This is y'all stuff. This is our stuff. Some of us have your name on it. I know. Because one of them down there is mine. Every single day, coach, I have to relive this. God, what do you want me to think about this issue? Watch this. Because at the end of the day, I have to be honest with myself. See, Renee, I don't want to form a godliness. It ain't doing me no good to have a form of godliness and then deny the power thereof. I want to be godly. I want to be saved so that I can receive the power. Yes. So I asked God, what is it? Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling, God? I'm not doubting you. I guess I'm just tired. Tired of what? Going through the same old. It's a cycle, everyday cycle. But I want to show you something this morning, how powerful you are. Through the story of these three young brave men. I ain't trying to wait your fingers up there. I'm gonna start reading verse 13. Daniel 3:13 to 27. I don't want to read all of it, but I have to in order to set the stage. Okay? And it reads with great rage, Nebuchadnezzar summoned Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So these three men brought before the king. And Nebuchadnezzar said to them, is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my gods or worship the image of gold I have set up? Now, when you hear the sound of the horn, the flute, the zither, the lyre, the harp, the pipe, and all kinds of music, if you are ready to fall down and worship the image I made, very good. But if you do not worship it, you will be thrown immediately into a blazing furnace. Then what God will be able to rescue you from my hand? Wow. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego have replied to the king, oh, Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. Verse 17, if we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to save us from it. And he will rescue us from your hand, O king. But even if he does not, we want you to know, O king, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar was furious with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and his attitude toward them changed. He ordered the furnace heated 7 times harder than usual, and commanded some of the strongest soldiers in the army to tie up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and throw them into the blazing furnace. So these men, wearing their robes, trousers, turbans, and other clothes, were bound and thrown into the blazing furnace. The king's command was so urgent and the furnace so hot that the flame of the fire killed the soldiers who took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Wow. And these 3 men firmly tied fell into the blazing furnace. Then the king leaped to his feet in amazement and asked his advisors, weren't there 3 men that was tied up and thrown into the fire? They replied, certainly, O king. He said, look, I see I see 4 men walking around in the fire unbound and unharmed. And the 4th looked like a son of God. Wow. Nebuchadnezzar then approached the opening of the blazing furnace, shouting, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servant of the Most High God, come here. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out of the fire. And all of the prefects, the governors, the royal advisors, the crowd around them, they saw that the fire had not harmed their bodies, nor was a hair on their heads singed. Their robes were not scorched, and there was no smell of fire on them. Right. I need you to do me a favor this morning. Look at your neighbor and say these words. Thank God for the fire. This is you. Pay attention to this young man. Say it again with some confidence this time. Thank God for the fire. Thank you, preacher. Now let me work a minute. I need to break down something for you because there is a misunderstanding about one word. And this word is fire. We need to break this down just a minute. It ain't gonna take me long to conclude the message. But I need to break this down for you so you can get a better understanding. The word fire is a word that means a destructive burning. Hello? Testing. Okay. The word fire means a destructive burning. Let me start this off by saying this. God is having a serious problem with the saints of God and their understanding of Scripture. Yes. A very serious problem. Because even as believers, the first thing that comes to mind when we talk about fire, we always look at the word as a word that means to destroy something evil. We look at that word fire as a word that means to destroy. Anytime we talk about the word fire in the church, we always look at hell and the lake of fire and places like that. Sodom and Gomorrah. That's how we look at it. And do you not know that any time that you look at that word fire in a negative way, you have to a certain degree denounced the power of God? Oh, here we go. Because it's not all destructive. It's not all bad. What's bad is our understanding of the Scripture. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Okay. The second definition of the word fire is, it is going out. I need Johnny. The second definition of the word fire is the phenomenon of combustion manifested in light, flame, or heat. Watch this. Let me move forward. The average Christian, as their first choice, would not associate the word fire with the Creator himself. Our first thought would probably be hellfire, the lake of fire, or even Sodom and Gomorrah. It may be surprising to many Christians that the word fire and its attributes is of light and heat, and it speaks more of the Creator and His goodness than of the destructive force against His enemy. The writers of the Bible, those assigned, employed the use of fire in many different ways. When it comes to the spiritual use of fire, they usually attributed fire to God. Watch this, show. Yahweh.
All right.
Watch this, y'all. Yahweh manifested Himself in various forms of fire. Watch this, y'all. On many different occasions. We find some of these manifestations in the making of the covenant of Abraham. Genesis 15 and 17. The burning bush. Exodus 3, 2 through 4. The pillar of fire. Exodus 13, 21. On Mount Sinai. Exodus 19 and 18. In the flame on the altar. Judges 13 and 20. And Yahweh, God, answering by fire in 1 Kings 18, 24 and verse 38. Now, this is crazy because at the end of the day, son, we have denounced the power of God by always associating fire with destruction. Now, watch this now. So if a believer must understand that sometimes when we talk about fire, the attributes realistically, we're talking about Yahweh.
Come on.
Why does it always have to be destruction in your mind? Why couldn't it be fire couldn't be about God and His goodness and His love towards you?
Oh.
Watch this now. Keep your eye on this boy. Keep your eye on this young man right here. Because there's a reason why he is able to maintain in the midst of his issues. Watch this now. One of the usage of many for fire was for sacrifice. Watch this. Watch this. And offering. Watch this. Because fire is used for many things. Well, there's three things I know that it's used for. One is used for, watch this, y'all. It is used for sacrifice. Are you with me? Mm-hmm. Fire is also used to purify. Mm-hmm. Fire is also used to destroy. Which was to be made, sacrifice and offerings, which was to be made, watch this, y'all, by fire. Isn't that crazy? Unto Him. Mm-hmm. Watch this. Exodus 12, 8 through 10, and Leviticus 1. But I need you to hear something this morning, that I'm going to go right into this. Please hear this, people of God. Fire often meant the acceptance of a sacrifice by Yahweh. Watch this here now. I'm going somewhere. Fire often meant the acceptance. Here it is. The acceptance of a sacrifice by Yahweh. Judges 6 and 21. 1 Kings 18, 38. 1 Chronicles 21 and 26. Now watch this. Leviticus 9 and 24 tells us this, verse 8. That the sacrificial fire came forth from Yahweh. I know this is kind of, but I'm going to put all of this for you soon. The sacrificial fire came forth by Yahweh. The sacrificial fire came forth by Yahweh. Watch this. Deuteronomy 4:24 says it like this. For the Lord your God is a consuming fire. Ooh. Okay. Now this is about getting interesting. Watch this out. Now let me go into the message. King Nebuchadnezzar decided that he wanted to take these three young men because they refused to bow down to his golden image. The judges and all of the governors and all of the people working with it convinced him because of Daniel and them to actually put forth a decree to get rid of anybody who does not worship the image. It was a setup to destroy four young men because of their stand against a God that they hated. And so what they did, they tried to change the way they dressed. They tried to change the way they talked. They tried to change their surroundings. But what they could not change is their heart toward their God. At the end of the day, I don't care how you put makeup on. I don't care how much you stand up in the mirror and you look good. I don't care how much your surroundings has changed. But when your heart is in tune with God, that's one thing that's going to stand firm.
Amen. Come on.
So King Nebuchadnezzar decided, if you don't do what I said when this music started, he said, I'm about to do something crazy here to y'all. I'm about to throw you into a fiery furnace. Now, let me share something with you. In the Old Testament, do you not know there was the first 3 men that ever was crucified this way?
All right.
So this was a new method. Watch this, please. This was a new method. Watch it. Now, all of a sudden, they said, look at King, let's mean you get some strength. Now, you done done all you can do to us. You done tried to change them and everything else. But King, let me tell you what we ain't going to do. We're not going to bow down to your image. But I'm going to tell you something, King, because you made that statement, no God can prove. What God is going to deliver you out of my hand? Let me share something with you, King. This is what the Hebrew boy said. Even if God don't deliver, one thing we do know, we know that he's able. So do what you have to do. We're not going to bow down to your demands. The Bible said that King Nebuchadnezzar got serious. He was so mad. He said, bound him up, hand and feet. Bound him up, hand and feet. Now watch this. When you look at the image of a furnace, this furnace was actually, they were thrown in from the top down. They didn't go through a door, per se, even though there was a door. They were thrown from the top down. Now watch this. But they bound them hand and feet, and they kept their regular clothes on. Now watch this. They also said something about a turban. Lord have mercy. At the end of the day, that's representing the religion in which they were serving at that time. Get this sense of God. You know what I mean? They tried to change everything about them. So they put a turban on their head. How many folk? Yeah. Religions wear turbans.
All right.
We know they ain't Christians.
All right.
Okay, y'all get that record. That's what we have to say. So, guess what was going in the fire when they threw them in? The turban that represented that particular religion at the time. God kept the clothes on. King Nebuchadnezzar said, okay, throw them in. And it was also meant, son, for them to be burned up immediately. See, what clothes does is help the process faster. It had them bound. Throw them in. But this is what was funny about the text. Son, that threw me. There were 3 young men, the strongest soldiers they had, was ordered by King Nebuchadnezzar to throw these boys in the furnace. Watch this picture, because it didn't make sense. He said, listen, get them now. Y'all got them? Yes. Go up there, and I need to throw them in the furnace. The Bible says that when they went up to throw the soldiers in the furnace, the Bible says that on their way from doing so, the fire was so high that it destroyed the soldiers. Hold on a minute. Something ain't right here again. God, how was it that the soldiers were consumed and destroyed, but Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were? before you throw them in.
Come on.
Something ain't right. So when I begin to look at the text and say, God, I don't understand. Because if it destroyed them because it was so hot, then why wait till they throw them in the furnace to be destroyed? They were supposed to be destroyed with the soldiers.
Right.
So what is this? Watch this, y'all. Watch this. The place where you are is not a place for everybody to be.
Come on.
There are some people that will come around your issues that will be destroyed because they have no purpose to be there.
All right.
Watch this. Watch this.
All right.
God will destroy and God will consume everything that's not supposed to be attached.
My God.
Every negative mindset, everybody that comes in your midst. Watch this, I love this part. In the midst of your trouble.
Yeah.
Right. I ain't talking about when things are going good. I'm talking about when you're in the midst of going through the worst time of your life. God said, I can't have them around you. I got to get rid of them. Watch this right here. It can't be nobody attached to you that will come and hinder the process of God.
Come on.
Watch this, because you don't realize something just today. You have to sit in that furnace, and it was a purpose for it.
Yeah.
Watch this here. That's why outsiders cannot come near you, or those that come to destroy you or to convert your mind. They cannot come to this place without being consumed. Watch this. There is an order for your fire. Watch this. Now all of a sudden, these three men were thrown in, the soldiers destroyed. Okay. Watch this here, y'all. I love it. But they were thrown in and they were bound with issues. Hand and feet. Thrown into a fire. Now watch this. God is the Deuteronomy, the consuming fire.
Yeah.
Unannounced to Melchizedek by the hands and the order of his mouth, he ordered this furnace for these boys.
Yeah.
But unannounced to him was that he was just on schedule and he was following God's instruction. Right. Lord have mercy. I'm about to show you something. Your enemy is also in a place to hear God when it comes to his baby. Oh, Lord have mercy. Because see, God has to create something for the world to see and to hear how awesome he is. So what God did, he allowed Melchizedek to become a form of an enemy so that, hold on a second. I'm trying to feel my help. All of a sudden they bound, Richard. They throw them into a consuming fire. Lord have mercy. But what Melchizedek did not know, that the consuming fire was assigned by God. Watch this. This is what I know right here. Did you not know? Watch this, Richard. That God decided to do something crazy. He said, hey, boys, what I'm about to do, realistically, it don't have nothing to do with you. Yeah. Oh, you're going to get this in there. Watch this, y'all. This is you. This is the stuff that had you bound. Yeah. But him sitting here had nothing to do with him. I'll show you just a minute. Why would God, Shamoris, take three young men who love him to be destroyed because they believe him so much? Why would God do that? This wasn't about the three Hebrew boys. Watch this now. I'm showing you something. It wasn't even about them. But what was them was they became the sacrifice.
Yeah.
For the consuming fire.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. So God is the consuming fire. Anytime that there is a sacrifice, oh Lord. Okay, let me go back. Remember, fire often meant the acceptance of a sacrifice. Ah, my God. Watch it now. By Yahweh, by God. This furnace was ordered by God. And the sacrifice that went in it was acceptable to God because he designed it. Listen to this. Listen to this here. So while you're sitting in your ashes and you're crying, wipe those tears off your face. Because you're about to know here in just a minute that the place that you're sitting was designed by God. And you have just been the sacrifice that God will use to send a message. Watch this out. Watch this out. So here go these boys who was thrown into a consuming fire by their enemy. The first thing God did when he threw them in is he loosed them of their bondage. First thing he did when they got in the fire, he said, y'all okay?
Nah.
Yeah. They take them off. Let me tell you what just happened. Do you know what happened to the three boys while they're sitting in that fire? After God let them go. Watch this. They're sitting in there, and everything about them, everything they believed in God has just increased.
Yeah.
Their power increased. Their faith increased.
Yeah.
Their thought of God increased. Their walk increased. Their speech increased. Everything about them increased.
Yeah.
Can I just be there for a minute? Listen. Hey, man, you okay? You all right? He said, you know what they were tied up. He said, man, I know I've been in this place before. He's sitting in this fire, I'm not even sweating. My clothes are still intact. He said, man, this is awesome. Now watch what just happened here. Everything increased. Everything increased. Now watch this. It's not a coincidence, son. It's not a coincidence. Watch this. What King Nebuchadnezzar saw. Watch this. Watch how awesome God is. 3 soldiers got destroyed. Right? The Bible said he didn't hear any noise. King didn't hear any noise. He looked and said, hey, I know it's those 3 people anyway. I just want to make sure it's here. He said, what? No, let me go back. The Bible said King Nebuchadnezzar got up. And the Bible said he went to the mouth of the furnace. Now I find that to be strange. King, if you had 3 soldiers that was destroyed because they're not supposed to be around you got up and you went to the mouth of the furnace. My question is, why would you destroy? Watch this, Richard. Unless you are part of the process. Watch this here. Unless you are a part of the process. Because anything that's not supposed to be attached to you, God said, I'm going to destroy it. But when King Nebuchadnezzar went to the mouth of the furnace, God spared his life. That let me know immediately that he was part of this process. You got to understand something in this season of being in the furnace. Your enemy is a part of your process. Those that you have witnessed to, who did not believe you, they are a part.
Come on.
Those that doubted you, those that talked behind your back and said you weren't going to be nothing, they are a part of your fire. Watch this right now. Because God will not be outdone by the enemy. The enemy is on an assignment because of God. Watch this. He said, how is it? Went to the mouth of that furnace preacher, and he thought, he said, I thought we go free. I'm looking glad, son. I'm fine. I got the best thing. I got the best of the sheep there. It's all faith. He ain't heard of it. Okay, Chris, your turn. Come on. You and your dinky, don't tell me now. Your turn to see. You hit my not crooked. You see that pain, that fire. Okay. Now watch this. There you go, son. Get ready. Bushwhacker, you next. Now watch this here. Now all of a sudden, King Nebuchadnezzar went to the mouth of the furnace, but he wasn't consumed. Watch this, Jay. This is crazy. Now all of a sudden, he said, I thought we put 3 in there. They said we did. They said, well, there's a 4th person in it. They look like the son of gods. Some Bible says son of gods. Son, small S-O-N, God, small G-O-D-S, gods. Which means they denounced him as Christ and thought that they sent an angel and not Jesus Christ himself. But there was one Bible, NIV said, it looked like a son of God. Capital S, large G. I love it. I don't care how you said it. Somebody was in that fire.
All right.
Now watch this. So in the fire, it was in the fire. Watch this. I noticed something, preacher. I noticed God didn't destroy anything that was already in. He didn't destroy the 3 Hebrew boys. And then Jesus came. That's what I'm going to call it. Jesus came or an angel came, doesn't matter. And was not consumed. Yeah. Sat down in the fire. Just like him. Killing. Having a conversation with the boys. Watch this. In the midst of their issues. God is having a conversation with you, Chad. In the midst of your issues. In the midst of your doubt, he's having a conversation. In the midst of your anger, he's having a conversation. In the midst of your loss, he's having a conversation. In the midst of doubt, God is having a conversation. Now watch this here. They regained so much more being in the midst of the fire that they had when they were in the world. Watch this here. They received more strength in the fire. They received more. This is what's happening to you. For those of you who sitting in your fire and you're surrounded around issues, what God is actually doing right now is giving you tools that will cause you to surpass the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're limited. And God speaks in the midst of your fire, giving you instructions, keeping your mind right, keeping your spirit right, keeping your love in place. All of the above. You're doing things that you've never done before. But God, he's talking. King Nebuchadnezzar had a problem because the fire did not consume the 3 Hebrew boys. What's with this happening? You know why the fire, when it comes to Nebuchadnezzar, couldn't do what he was supposed to do? Because the power of the fire was taken away. God stripped Nebuchadnezzar of the power of the fire that was supposed to destroy them. He stripped the power away.
All right.
Watch this here. Watch this here. What is God saying? He said, I am the consuming fire. There were 2 things that took place at the same time. Not only did God strip the power of your enemy away, but he became the consuming fire that took the bondage off your feet and hands away. The fire was actually designed to work for God, and the fire was also presented to work against your enemy. In the midst of what you're going through, Johnny, God has given you something that the world just can't take away. That's the reason why, Keith, you can maintain. I know people, watch this, y'all, whole bunch of folk in the grave because of depression. Whole lot of folk done commit suicide because they couldn't handle what the world had to offer. But you are in a worse situation than most of them, and you still living. Preacher, you still maintaining. Through all your financial issues, everything you went through in your relationship, you still standing. That's because the fire that you're sitting in has been designed by God to happen. Watch this. The fire wasn't really for you. But God is blessing you because you told him yes. That you would be a living sacrifice for him. Understood. Oh, here we go. You said to God, when you guys said, I will be a living sacrifice. I said, are you sure? He said, yeah, God. He said, okay, thank you. So the 3 Hebrew boys were just a living sacrifice. Now watch this here. You don't believe that's true? Watch what just happened. The king, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Do you hear me? Yeah, King, we just in there chilling. We just in there talking to the Lord.
Yeah.
Listen, can you come here? Can you come here? They said, yeah. What you need, King? I can just see that. Take your head up. Can we help you, King? What you want? So we need to get back to the meeting right quick.
Yeah.
Can y'all come out? Watch what just happened. This was the same king that told them that when they went into the furnace, that what God now is going to deliver you. Did he not say that in the text?
Yeah.
Watch what just happened. But what God did is so awesome, it's amazing. He used the 3 young men, Hebrew men, as a living sacrifice. Watch this right here. To prove to King Nebuchadnezzar that your God ain't, oh Lord, that almost slipped.
Yeah.
That your God ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Now what's what happened? When he called them out for, what just happened now? He said, all the kings and governors and they came up to the 3 Hebrew boys and looked at him and said, "Hey, you hearing this? Yeah. He said, the coals are still inside. He said, they don't even smell like fire. He said, matter of fact, they look better now than they did going in.
Yeah.
Because see, watch this. See, your enemy expects you to come out nasty and dirty and hurt and cry. But watch this here. But when you in the presence of God, what the fire also did was purify and clean them.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They look better coming out than they did going in.
Yeah.
And they were just amazed, son. They ain't supposed to look this good. Listen to what God is saying. You ain't supposed to look this good, Renee. You ain't supposed to handle life like that. Dear God. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to be sad. You're supposed to be broken. You're supposed to be destroyed. You ain't supposed to look this good. My God. You ain't supposed to look this good.
Yeah.
You should look like somebody who was in the grave. And they were just amazed. So more than when they looked at you, they said, how could she look this good? I don't understand that. It messed King Nebuchadnezzar up so much. He said, let me tell y'all something. While y'all looking at these boys. Watch this here, friend. I love this. This is the reason why King Nebuchadnezzar wasn't destroyed the first time when he went to the mouth of the furnace. Because King Nebuchadnezzar was a man who was traveling in faith.
All right.
See, he always knew there was something special about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He always knew that they were special. He always knew. And how he knew it is because of their sacrifice to worship God.
All right.
The whole reason for the decree was because of their relationship with God. And the king couldn't stand it. Because let me tell you what King Nebuchadnezzar bothered him the most about this whole thing. He said, not even my own men is that dedicated to a God like you are yours.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All of a sudden, preacher, he yelled up while the chiefs, those in authority, was watching. And they were in amaze. So was King Nebuchadnezzar. He made a decree that still stands today. He said, this day, because of what the Most High God has done, who belonged to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He said, this day, I have just decreed their God as our God.
Yeah. All right.
At the end of the day, T, you're sitting in your fire, and you are the living sacrifice. He was just so much. Miss Jones, the enemy wants your marriage to fail. This ain't just about you. He wants you to keep thinking like that. He wants you to, because all he wants you to do is denounce God. See, that's what he wants. But God has created you to be stronger than that. See, he don't want you to get past that stage in your mind. He wants you to stay dormant. He wants you to stay in that place. But that's how you beat you got to understand what you're saying. Oh, God. You got to understand what you're saying. And hey, watch this. Secret. Nobody can bring you out. Watch this now. Nobody can bring you out. Watch this, because you got to get this part. Jesus never told them in the text that he was releasing them out of the fire.
Correct. Correct.
He never told them. He not even made an effort. Watch what he did. He used the same enemy who put him in. He used the same enemy to call him out. You hear what I'm telling you? God said the fire that you're sitting in, he said, I have ordained it. But there is a period of time that you have to sit right there until they call you out. Watch this, y'all. Jasmine, the Bible said that your gift will make room for you. And it will also put you before great men. Watch this. If you are a person without a purpose, you just gonna burn up. Okay. It was because of their purpose that God put them in the fire. It was because of your purpose that he put you in the fire. It's because of your purpose, coach, he put you in the fire. And watch this, y'all, because it's the fire that comes to purify, it comes to destroy. And it comes as a sacrifice. And God being the consuming fire, when you get in the fire, you should say, thank you, Jesus. Because I'm right where you are. I'm right where you want me to be. Because it's in the fire, preacher, that God increased you.
All right.
He increased you in the fire.
Yeah.
He increased you in the fire. You have a better and a more compassion for people when you're in the fire.
Right.
Your eyes are open and you begin to love different when you're in the fire.
Yeah.
How is it that we have been made up to love our enemy like we love ourselves if God hadn't had us in the fire?
Right. Right.
God, I don't like them like that. I know you don't. That's why you're in the fire.
Yeah.
I'm trying to change you up a little bit. You got to represent me, even in the midst of your enemy. That's what God did with those three young brothers. They came out. They had such an appreciation to the point God loved them so much. You don't think God is good? You don't think God is awesome? Read the rest of the text. Now, watch what just happened. Once the king decreed that they are to serve, watch this picture. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, God, guess what he did? Read the text. He promoted them. Oh, Lord, God is so good. He used their enemy to promote them. Gave them a better life. Gave them more responsibility. Watch this, y'all. I love this part. As a man of God. As a woman of God. Gave them more money as a man of God and a woman of God. Gave them more authority. In, watch this, y'all, another man's kingdom.
All right.
Ain't God good? It wasn't even in their own country. He promoted them in another man's country. Can I ask you a question? What do you think was going through those leaders' minds?
All right.
But they couldn't go against the king. They just had to work with the king. But boy, I know they was mad. You folks you trying to kill me? Why you getting a promotion over me?
Yeah.
You know how folks get.
Yeah.
Some of y'all like that with the y'all now. He ain't been that long. You want to put out management? What were you talking about? Oh, okay, then. Okay. We're going through some of that right now.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, your fire is important. Watch this, saints of God. Because you can play. I'm going to preach the word and I'm gone. Thank you. Let me share something with y'all. Quit complaining about your fire. Your fire is on purpose. Oh, Johnny, If you quit looking at God as a destructive force and start looking at God as loving and kind and merciful. Because Johnny, if he wasn't merciful, he would not have released the bondage. I mean, what had you bound in the fire. If he didn't love you, he wouldn't sit in your fire, coach. Every night you go to sleep 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. He's waking you up, telling you about his goodness. Right? A consuming fire burns off impurities. Those things that are not supposed to be attached to you, God, burn it off. Because he don't want anything hindering his process. That's why he was able. That's why you were able, Robert, to hold on when people didn't believe it. You see what I'm saying? That's why it was easy for you, son, through all the odds to maintain. Because you didn't know that God was your consuming fire. Don't tell me God ain't awesome. To everybody, Renee, that thought you were dead, throw you aside. And they say you wouldn't want to amount to anything. It was that consuming fire. All right. That even when you wanted to quit, God said, I got you there. Just stand still. That's that consuming fire. We don't understand this right here a lot of times. A lot of times, this issue right here almost caused us to break. Right. But it's that consuming fire because when I'm sitting there, and I can be crying, I can be having some bad things, some negative thoughts. But in that time, coach, while I'm sick, God, I'm always coming. Yeah. I created you for this. Yeah. You're stronger than that. I'm giving you everything that you need to make that. The devil wants you to die. But did I not tell you, you shall live and not die? Amen. That's how awesome God is. When you realize I have everything, and I can say this, I'm transparent. Everything is due to my house. All right. I don't know about you, I'm going through some hell right now. But what got me, Johnny, was the fact that God said, I got you in the right place at the right time. Yes, he do. Yes, he do. Let me tell you something. We pray more when we go into hell. Amen. Yes, we worship more when we going through. Yes, we do. Johnny, listen, let me tell you what this situation will do. It'll cause you to make a prayer call. All right. Yes, it will do. Yes, it will. Let me tell you what I know about people. When we are at our breaking point, the last person we call, he's supposed to be the first person we call. But the last person we call, after all of our resources have gone left, we call on God. And God loves us so much, God said, Champion, if it means that I have to wait at the end of the line to get to it, I ain't going anywhere. I'll be your last choice. If it means me saving your lifetime. Because God knows, son, that we will look for him. I love this part. He knows, Johnny, that we will look for him. You know why? Because he created your heart to do so. Don't tell me God is good. Johnny, when he told me he had used me as a living sacrifice. Because he wanted me in the fire. Watch this, y'all. Where he was. That's why I was able to maintain through a impossible situation. I thank God for my fight. I thank God for going through. Because I told him yes in the beginning, I'm a living sacrifice. I didn't know how, coach. Let the truth be known. I was just talking. First, I didn't know what that really meant. Until God began to showcase it to me. He told me I can use you. Are you reading what you said? Don't always want to come out of the fire. God is creating something special. Man, when God's finished with you in this furnace, you will begin to speak those things. You will be able to open up your mouth and say it, and it comes to pass. There's a woman, and I can't be called our spiritual mom, Lady Walker. She said something, Renee, that blew my mind. She said, Pastor, it's never a time that I pray. And God normally answered my prayer before I even prayed. She said, if I pray it, it just comes to pass. She said, you don't think I can take that? Watch this. Here's the deal. I love you. She said, but I heard it.
All right. Amen.
You will get that directly.
Yeah.
You heard it. I was supposed to. Because I heard it. To speak. I heard the right first. You can't tell me I don't. I heard the right. To speak those things that Lord will not wait to have in his name. I thank God for it. That can't hold me.
That's right.
That can't hold me. I'm decreeing it today in the house of God, in the atmosphere, to say, this cannot hold me. I'm stronger than that. I'm better than that. Can't hold me, son. I'm not going to allow what the world has thrown my way to make me fail. I've earned the right to stay here. I've earned the right to praise God. I've earned the right to be blessed. I earned the right to walk up with dignity and with godly dignity, proclaiming the word of God. I earned the right because I took the stripes too.
Yeah.
Coach, you took the stripes, Coach. John Vic, you took the stripes. Y'all took the stripes for a short period. You took it. You took it. And I thank God for it. That devil is a liar. You should have never showed me this. You should have never showed me that. God, you need to tell me you have chosen me to sit in the furnace. Thank God for the fire. You are a sacrifice that God has accepted. Oh, have mercy. He accepted you as a sacrifice. He accepted you as a sacrifice to sit in the fire so that somebody else could be blessed. You don't think God will use you, Johnny? Y'all don't think God will use y'all? At the end of the day, the question is, will you let him? I told him yes. And because of that, my whole life, Coach, I walk. I felt like I walked in here my whole life. When I tell y'all things are turning around, when I tell you I'm going to sit right here until God is finished, when I tell you I'm going to let him complete what he started. Because when I come out, devil, you better look out. You better look out. You think it's bad now. When I come out of this fire, God is good. And I thank God for this word. I thank God. This is crazy because I never really understood the significance I do now of why he had us do this. Yeah. Because this right here, these issues here, has always been the reason why we have been going backwards instead of moving forward. Yeah. These issues right here has become a stumbling block to those that are trying to move forward. Because not only are we trying to walk upright with God, but we also trying to deal with the situation at the same time. But here's the crazy part, Coach. I understand scripture. Yeah. How can How can you cope? How can a man serve two gods? How can you love God, but you love your issue enough to pay attention to it? You give your issues more attention than you give God. And it keeps us going backwards. God said, I wish that you would put that much energy in me than you do those bills. There's sometimes I can't even find you. That thing has eaten us up so bad, God said, I can't even find you. Instead of worshiping me, instead of talking to me, you put more energy into why you don't have. Yeah. You put more energy in the lack. God said, Jacob, have I not told you that I can remove a mountain out of your way if you let me? All I need is for you to trust in me that much. Now watch this crazy. But some of the mountains are still standing in your way. Question. Well, you need the mustard seed type faith. But your mountain is still standing there. What did that say about you? And we always look at it as God completing the task. But that's not where it begins. That's where it ends. Right. The task is your thinking. Right. I have to move the mountain that's standing in the way of your thinking. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. This is the mountain that he has to remove first. Before that, that's just the end result. But this is the beginning result. He has to move the way you think. Your thinking has been the hindrance of the reason why you can't move forward. Johnny, can I tell you something about your mouth? Who you gonna blame? Quit trying to make excuses for the reason why faith hadn't happened. And start looking at you as the issue. Lord have mercy. The mountain has to be moved. You must give God free rein to do whatever you want to do. And sometimes you just need to wipe yourself clean. Go home, look at your situation, look at your fire, and just say, thank you. See what I'm talking about, Mr. Jones? Just tell him thank you. Now I understand. Thank you. I'm going to say something to you. I said it to you when you first came to us. And when you didn't understand everything that was going on, we had a conversation. And I realized this yesterday. I said, when you know what God has chosen, do you not know everything that you actually do? It's about 4 more other people. Now attached all the pieces of everything. There is an example that must be displayed. And God will keep you in the fire for you to say yes, so that it will be revealed to them that the same God that you serve will also be the same God that you serve. Every last one of you, you've been chosen to sit some way, form, or fashion in a fire. That is so wonderful, because when you understand, not everybody can sit in the fire. So everybody can't sit in the fire. There's only those that are chosen. Everybody don't have the heart to come out. But the truth, a lot more. God has created you in such a way, choice, to maintain in the midst of adversity. Yeah. You've been bent over, but you didn't break. Johnny, you were perplexed on every side, but you maintained. You were troubled, But you see God for an answer. Don't tell me God. And so my whole life, and I look at it differently. I just thank God for the fire. Because I decree it Monday that this is almost.
Yeah.
I want the devil to know that. I'm going to sit in the fire as long as God has me. But Satan, I want you to know this is just about over. Because when God brings me a time, I'm more powerful. I can't worry about the world. I can't worry about what other preachers do. I don't critique their message. I don't critique what's going on. All I'm worried